Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to talk about where you can grab or which unit you can currently grab to save some Kais in terms of super attack farming. So I did this series and then I stopped it for a bit, but I kind of want to bring it back every once in a while just during periods where there isn't too much to do, and maybe it's a good time to consider farming some super attacks for some of your units and picking them up. So, as usual, I won't be focusing on temporary events, I won't be focusing on the daily shifting events, things like the Ginyu Force team or the Team Bardock team. I will be focusing solely on like the temp events that are currently up, because that way you can actually be advised on who to farm and what to farm, etc. And I think that does make things a little bit easier overall as well. And because there's not a lot of events up right now that give Elder Kais or currency for Elder Kais, I haven't included any Elder Kai farming, and I'm going to start splitting those videos. So Elder Kais will be in one video, probably each month or every campaign, and then the super attacks that you can farm will be in a separate video as well. That way it's a bit easier to track exactly what you want to get. But in terms of the events right now, there's quite a few interesting units that you can farm to really increase the super attack levels of quite a few units. So obviously with the Super Strike being up, you have Tien. Tien only starts as an SR, which isn't great. You're better off farming the SR Tien from the Prime Battle event, honestly speaking. It's a much higher chance to develop an SA without having to put in any actual training or Z metal investment. So although it is an option, I would just like to preface that you're better off using the Prime Battle event rather so than trying to use the Super Strike event, because him starting as an SR is a bit limiting. Then in the next one, Zarbon, there's no real units, but Krillin, some high value here. Krillin has quite a few summonable units now. Nothing too crazy, but ways you can save on Kais is always good. The Tech Krillin from the Bubba Shop, although not technically a summonable unit, is a unit you want to save Kais on. And the AGL and the other Tech Krillin from the movie, the Broly Resurrection movie, are all pretty good. None of the Alars except for the Prime Battle ones start as Krillin, and he obviously can be farmed with his own ones for 100% SA. So next event we have is obviously a base Goku, SSR Goku. You can get him from here or from one of the Red Ribbon events that are currently up. Base form Gokus are always highly valuable. This Goku will stay base form, so there's no real need to Z-awaken him or anything. And there's quite a few decent base Gokus. There's the Namek Goku, the transforming Namek Goku. There is the Majin Buu Saga Goku, who has a very good EZA, very solid unit. There's the World Tournament base form Goku, who also is going to get a Dokkan Awakening in future. Probably going to want to give him his SA. And then there's quite a few LR Gokus that start base form, like the LR Int God Goku that everyone, or that recently got an EZA on Global. So pretty good stuff. Obviously Gokus or base form Gokus are always useful and are a great way to save on Kais. Transforming Super Saiyan Goku is also one of them. And yeah, there's just plenty of great units that you can save Kais on, especially using this base form Goku. So that's a pretty nice event from which to get that Goku. Very solid. Then, the next one is a Piccolo. Again, also a very useful unit. Piccolo is one of the units that has very rarely a name change. So Piccolo is always kind of a nice pickup from a super attack farming benefit, because basically you can super attack farm like any Piccolo basically, and there's tons of summonable Piccolos now that need that kind of support. So there's plenty of great options. Honestly, really not that much of an issue, and most people shouldn't have a problem. It's a great time. Basically. So yeah, pretty easy stuff in terms of the Piccolos. Tons of units that you can use them on, so that's really awesome. And then of course, alongside that, we also have the more complex here. So there's a couple units here you can technically farm, but I only really think farming base SSRs for the most part is like useful when it comes to super attack farming. I think Dokkan Awakening units isn't always like highly successful. One I will mention is the Future Gohan, just because of how good he is, but the rest I think you'd want to stick to basics. The Android 17 Future and the Android 18 Future are great units that you can farm the SA for. There's only two of them that are notable. This Android 17 Future and then the AGL Android 18 Future. But I mean, it's always good to kind of like prepare for one day when they get their easy aim, and then they're going to look really, really good, and you're going to wish that you'd farmed their SAs sooner. And then of course we also have the Future Gohan. Future Gohan is pretty solid, and there's only one of him. Well, there's two. There's the Int one as well, and both of them are worth farming the SA for. And the Int or the Future Gohan from the event is honestly relatively usable, so I would say you can probably go on and kind of do that if you want to. On the Trunks side, you can use this Trunks to farm the SA for quite a few units, but I don't think it's really worth it. There's like a couple that I would highlight. The Tech one, who I think is really solid, but it's not a priority. You can do it if you want to, and you want to save Kais and you want to prep for the future, or you're a new account. I highly suggest you do. But yeah, I wouldn't advise that you prioritize it or anything like that. So yeah. Then we have a couple other units. Obviously the Goku, as mentioned before, you can kind of get from any event. And then we also have the Vegeta, and this is a base form Vegeta. Very super easy to get, also great for a lot of Vegetas, very similar to Goku. And then we also have obviously the Kaioken Goku, etc. So Vegeta, very solid. There's a lot of just Vegeta based units, especially Skada based Vegetas. Transforming Vegeta starts in base form Vegeta, Majin Buu Vegeta starts base form Vegeta. So all of these you can save some SA on quite well. Notable LRs are going to be the Goku and Vegeta unit, because they start as just Vegeta. So again, great way to save LRs, or Kai's on LRs, and you can actually pick up these LRs from some of the latest banners, so that's pretty high value if you ask me. In terms of everything else, I think that's it. The rest are all kind of like giant apes, etc., and those won't be able to be Dokkan Awakened, or sorry, won't be able to have their super attack leveled by using Vegeta named units. And then we have the Lord Slug and the Turles event. So Lord Slug one gives you 2 units actually. It gives you Goku, who's obviously but a Kaioken version. You can't use Super Saiyan Kaioken Gokus or anything like that, but you can level up a whole bunch of other Kaioken Gokus, which is pretty cool. Most notably probably being the Tech Kaioken Goku, or if you have the Strength LR Final Trump Card Kaioken Goku, that's probably the 2 most notable Kaioken units. But the AGL one's also pretty useful, and he's currently being used in chain battles, so that does help you out there. And then we have Lord Slug as well. Obviously giant form when he's Dokkan Awakened, but in his base form you can raise his SA, and he's just Lord Slug there, so that's pretty good value as well. And then I think the final event where you can farm a unit is the Turles event, or the Tree of Might event. And yeah, pretty straightforward. This one just drops the Turles, and obviously quite a few Turleses in the game. Not too many I would say are like necessary. But I think the 2 priority Turleses would probably be the AGL Turles and the Strength LR Turles. And again, because you can currently get the Strength LR Turles by summoning on the LR banner, maybe you might want to farm his SA as well. So definitely is some value there. Remember with LRs you can only really save 10 Kais. That's unfortunately the limit of how it works, but it's still 10 Kais saved. And the same with AGL Turles, still 10 Kais saved, so pretty good stuff. Remember Turles, Giant Ape, and those type of things you won't be able to use Turles for, but there is also the Int one if you're interested as well. So pretty decent stuff overall, I would say. But yeah, that's about it. If you need any more help, you can check the Guru's Guide. That usually gives you an indication of who to farm, but maybe if you're someone who doesn't like it or doesn't like the format, you can always check out my videos. and I'll highlight which ones I think are the best to farm. And also I'll point out ones from events that are more temporary in nature, so the ones that you should probably focus on farming. But yeah, that is basically it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if you need any help, or if there's any other units that you want to know if you can farm the SA right now. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So I'll see you next time. Till then, take care, stay safe, and bye.